All right, we are going to start our weaving. So we created our loom. I've got my name on the back. I'm taped down here. And now I'm ready to start my weaving. So I've got my needle here, and I'm gonna pick a color of yarn. I've got a whole box of yarn over here. I think I'm gonna do mine kind of in rainbow order. So I'm gonna pull off an arm's length, my 2 arms length actually, length of yarn. And I'm going to cut that off. So I have a nice long piece. I'm going to tie a knot in slide it through my needle here, the eye of the needle. And I'm going to tie a knot right here. So loop it around, tuck it through, pull it tight. Okay, now at the other end of my yarn, I'm going to take this end and I'm going to tie a knot onto the first side of my loom, whichever side you want to start on. So I'm going to start on this left side. So I'm going to wrap it around, loop it, and tuck it underneath to tie a knot. Okay. I can also trim this little piece here, and I tied it extremely tight because I don't want it to come loose. Trim that off there. Then I'm going to start my weaving. So what's going to happen is I left a little space here too. Notice how far down I actually tied my knot. So now I'm going to go under this one, over the next one, under this one, over the next one, under this one, over this one. And then when I get here, I might start to pull it through. Pulling it through. So there we go. Okay, let's see. So now, I stopped. So let me see. So I'm under this, so I got to go over that one, under the next one. So I can pull it through each time, or I can do a whole bunch. So what I mean by that is, so I'm under that, I got to go over, under, over, under. So see how I did a bunch with my needle and then pull it through. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. You want to pull it through each time, or you want to do a bunch at once. Okay, so now this is important. When I get to this side, I can't go under this one because watch what'll happen if I go under. It won't, see, it fell through. So it's important once I get to the other side to do the opposite of what I just did, okay? So what I mean by that is, right here, I went under it. So now on the way back, I need to go over it. So it's the opposite. So now I'm going over that one, under the next one, over this one, under, over, under, over, under. So it's a pattern. Just back and forth, pull that all the way through. Now here is where you need to decide, are you gonna pull it gently through so that it stays very wide like this? Or if I pull it really tight, it starts to get tighter and smaller. That's fine. See how tight that one got? So I'm gonna push it up like this. Good. Okay, so this one, now remember I need to do the opposite. I went under it, so now I need to go over it. Otherwise it will come undone. Under, over, under, over. Okay, so I'm under that one, over, under, over, under, over. Pull it all the way through. Oops, I got some tape stuck in there. Okay. Oops. Now if I pull it too tight, right, that yarn will kind of mess up my loom. See how my white pieces are getting really close together? Okay, and then I'm gonna push it up so it's nice and tight. Okay. Okay, and I'm noticing here, because my yarn was so long, I'm getting a knot. Let's try to undo that before it gets any worse. Okay. All right, so I went under it. I need to go over it. Under, over, under, over, under, over. Pull it all the way through. Oops, look at how tight I pulled that one. I want to pull it back out a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to push it up. So this is creating my weaving. So I'm going to do this until I run out of red yarn. And then I'll show you how to switch a color. So you can use as many colors as you want. Under, over, under, over. Pull it all the way through. Okay. So I went under and over, under, over, under. Oops, my knot came untied from my needle. That's okay, I'll tie it back on. Put it through the eye of the needle, tie a knot, and I'll be good to go. Okay. What happened there? Oh my gosh. Oops. Try it again. There we go. It's okay to make mistakes, right? As long as you try it again. Okay, so I'm nearing the end here. So what I'm going to do when I'm done is I'm going to tie a knot around my loom again to make sure that my weaving doesn't come apart. And then I can change colors. And I'll do the same steps with a new color. Let's see, I think I can maybe do it 2 more times. Oops. Okay, so nearing the end here, so I'm going to untie this. If I can't untie it, I can always cut it. I think I can get it, yep. Oh, almost got it. This is a good lesson in perseverance, right? Not giving up, keep trying. This will take us a while. Okay, so now I have my tail here. I want to make sure, I can pull it down here a little bit, that I want to tie it to the loom again, because if I don't tie it, it's going to fall off or come undone. So I'm going to loop it and pull it through my loop. Okay, and I want to pull it tight. So each time I get a new color, I want to make sure I knot it to the loom, and then I can trim off. Now when I'm trimming, I need to be very careful I don't cut my knot. Perfect. Okay, So that's one color. Now let's say I want to do a rainbow. So I would need, the next color would be orange. So let me grab my full arm's length. So it's like 2 arms length, right? My full arm's length body of yarn. And I want to pull a little extra out of the tube here too, so that the next person can grab it. Okay, again, I'm going to tie knot to my needle. Okay, just lightly because I do want to be able to get this one undone. Okay, and then I'm going to take my other end of the orange yarn and I'm going to tie it to my loom, just like I did with the red. So I'm going to make a loop and pass it through the loop. Pull it tight, and then I can trim my little tail here. Okay, make a little pile of tails. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the same thing until I'm done with my orange, and then so on until I fill my whole loom up. Over, under, over, under, over, under. Over, under. Over, under. And then pull it through. So now we have a new color. Okay, so now notice this is about 1 inch, right, of red. I could do about 1 inch of yellow. I could do all the way, or maybe I only want it to be, you know, I can make it much smaller by having a smaller piece of yarn. I could do it much larger by having a much longer piece of yarn, right? I could just do little bitty stripes. It's totally up to you how you wanna, oops, I need to go over that one because we're doing the opposite. So remember when I get here, if I go under this, it's not gonna hold tight to my loom. I need to go over it. So it has to be the opposite of the one above it. Okay, so I think you got the hang of it. I will maybe finish this and post a picture of it so you can see it all done. Or I might time lapse it to see how it all turns out. So at least you got the first steps for weaving. All right.